Using if, elif and else. We don't always want a program to do the same thing every time it is run. We use selection to select a different route through the program depending on what has happened elsewhere in the program. In Python we use if, sometimes we use elif, sometimes we use else. Line 1 of this program outputs the string enter length of side. In line 2, the user enters an integer which is stored in a variable named side. Line 3 starts with if. This is where selection takes place in our program. The symbol means greater than. So the program is checking if what is in variable side is greater than the value 140. If the value in variable side is greater than 140, the program outputs the string a large square. The program does this line of code because it is indented underneath the if line of code. Here we have run the program and entered the value 141, which has got stored in the variable named side. The program then checks if what is in variable side, 141, is greater than 140. Clearly 141 is a bit greater than 140, so the program does the indented line of code and outputs a large square. When we run the program a second time, but this time enter 120, which gets stored in variable side, something different happens. The program again checks if what is in variable side, 120, is greater than 140. Clearly 120 is not greater than 140, so the program does not do the indented line of code. As there is no other code in our program just stops without doing anything else. Often we want a program to either do one thing or do another thing. To do this, we use an if followed by an else. The program will either do what is indented after the if, in this case it will print a large square, or it will do what is indented after the else. In this case it will print a small square. It will never do both things. It will always do one of these things. Here we have run the program and entered the integer 200, which has got stored in variable side. The if line of code looks at what is in variable size and sees if it is greater than 140. If it is, it outputs a large square. 200 is clearly greater than 140, so a large square has been output. Because the if has been done, the else lines of code are just ignored. When we run the program again, but this time enter 40, which gets stored in variable size, the program again checks to see if what is in variable side is greater than 140. Clearly 40 is not greater than 140, so this line of code, the indented line under if, is not carried out. Because the if part of the code has not been done, the else part of the code has to be done. The program outputs a small square. With an if followed by an else, one of the indented sections will always happen, and both will never happen. Sometimes we want a program to choose from more than two different options. In that case, we use some ELIFs. ELIF means else if. In other words, we either do the if, else if we haven't done the if, we do the check the elif, and if we haven't done either of those in this program, we will do the else. Here we have run the program and entered the integer 100, which has got stored in variable side. The program checks if what is in variable side is greater than 140. 100 is clearly not greater than 140, so the program does not do this next indented line of code. Instead, it does the ELIF. It checks if what is in variable side is greater than 90. Clearly, 100 is greater than 90, so it does this next indented line of code and outputs a medium square. Because it has done the ELIF part of the code, it does not do the else part of the code. If we have if followed by ELIF followed by else, the program will do either this or this or this. This next program is the same as the previous one, except it has one line of code after the if, elif, else has finished. We know this happens after the if, elif, else is finished because this line of code is not indented. Because it is not indented, this line of code will always happen, regardless of what is in variable side. I have run the program and entered 200. The code has checked whether 200 is greater than 140. It is, so it has output a large square. It has also output the line of code that is not indented. You know what sort of square it is. I ran the program again and this time entered 130. The program checked if 130 is bigger than 140. No, it's not, so it did not do this line of indented code. It then checked if what's in variable side, 130, is bigger than 90. It is, so it did do this line of code, the indented line of code underneath the ELIF. It output a medium square. Because it's done check the if and ELIF and done something, it does not do the else, but it does do the final not indented line of code and outputs, you now know what sort of square it is. I ran the program a third time and this time entered the integer 50. The program checked whether 50 is bigger than 140. It's not, so it didn't do this line. It then checked if 50 is bigger than 90. It's not, so it didn't do this line. I'm left with an else, so it has to do this line. It outputs a small square. This line of code is not indented, so the program must do it regardless of what has happened before. It outputs, you now know what sort of square it is. Sometimes we have more than one ELIF. So in this program we have 4 options. The program will check what is in variable side. If it's bigger than 140, it will output a large square. If it does that, it will not do the ELIF, it will not do this ELIF, it will not do the else, it will jump straight to the end and do this unindented line of code. If what is inside is not bigger than 140, then it will do the next check and see if what is inside is bigger than 90. If it is, it will output a medium square and go straight after that to the end of the code where it's not indented and output, you now know what sort of square it is. If what is inside is not bigger than 90, it will do the next check and see if what is inside is bigger than 50. If it is, it will output a standard square and then do the line of code that's not indented and output, you now know what sort of square it is. If the program has not used the code indented underneath if or ELIF, it will do the else and output a small square followed by the line of code that's not indented. For example, if we enter 60, the program checks whether what is inside is bigger than 140. It's not, so it doesn't do this line. It then checks if what is inside is bigger than 90. It's not, so doesn't do this line. It then checks if what is inside is bigger than 50. 60 is bigger than 50, so it outputs a standard square. It then doesn't do the else because it's done the ELIF above it. And finally, it outputs the line of code that is not indented. You now know what sort of square it is. We can have more than one line of code indented underneath an if, or underneath an ELIF, or underneath an else. Here we've got 3 lines in code indented underneath the ELIF. So if when the program checks what's inside it finds that it's bigger than 90, it would do all 3 of these lines of code. I have run the program and entered 100. The program has checked whether what is in variable size is bigger than 140. 100 is not bigger than 140, so it has not done this first indented line of code. It has then checked if what's in variable size is bigger than 90. 100 is bigger than 90, so it now must do all 3 of these indented lines of code. First, it outputs a medium square. Then it calculates how much below the amount for a large square the value in variable side is, and stores this amount in the variable named underbig. Then it outputs what is in underbig. So here, 100 is 41 below 141. It's done this calculation and found that out, so its output amount below big is 41. The program does not do the else because it's done the ELIF that came before it. So it finishes off by doing the line of code that is not indented. The final program in this video shows what happens if we use a series of ifs instead of using if, then ELIF. Here I have run the program and entered 40, which has got stored in variable side. The program checks if what is in variable side is bigger than 140. It's not, so it does not do the output of a large square. The program then checks if what is in variable side is bigger than 90. 40 is not bigger than 90, so it does not do this indented line of code. It doesn't output a medium square. The program then checks if what is in variable side is bigger than 50. It's not. 40 is not bigger than 50, so it does not output the line of code a standard square. Because it has not done this if, it must do this else, so it outputs the line of code a small square, followed by the line of code that is not indented at all. You now know what sort of square it is. All seems fine. But watch what happens when we enter 150 into variable side. First, the program checks if what is inside is bigger than 140. 150 is bigger than 140, so it does do this line of indented code. It outputs a large square. Because we have used an if, not an ELIF, the program will always do this next check. It will check if what is in variable size is bigger than 90. 150 is bigger than 90, so it does output this line of code. It outputs a medium square. Because we have used an if, not an ELIF, the program will always check this line of code. It will see if what is inside is bigger than 50. 150 is bigger than 50, so it outputs this line of code saying a standard square. Because we have used 3 ifs instead of using an if followed by 2 ELIFs, all 3 of these checks are done, not just one of them. Therefore, we've ended up outputting 3 different sizes of the square. We do not end up outputting a small square because the else only happens if the if hasn't happened. The if has happened, so the else doesn't happen. Of course, we always output this line of code at the end because it is not indented. If you only want one of your options to happen, you need to use if followed by elif followed by elif, not if followed by if followed by if.